It's like, if chocolate is in my fridge, I'm gonna eat it. If it's Cadbury's chocolate, it's gonna last a couple of days. I just don't go and buy those things so that the temptation is not there. Might still be holding on to a little bit of resentment. You might be holding on to some ideas and a story about what 2020 did for you. And I can assure you that holding on to that is not gonna serve your highest self. Happy New Year, everybody! Welcome back to the It Takes Grit podcast with your host, Rebecca-Louise. Wow, we have stepped into 2021. All right, what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the 12 ways to create healthy habits and also let go of all the things that may have happened to you or for you in 2020. Yes, all right. So that's what I always like to say. It's not that things happened to us, they happen for us. But we also need to just take a breath in and exhale and let it all go. And before we kick off into today's episode, I just wanted to remind you guys that you have a couple more days to sign up for our Inner Transformation program that starts on the 4th of January. The discounts will just keep on getting less and less and less, so act today to save the most. And we will be doing another one later on in the year. So if this is being watched in the future, after the 4th of January, then make sure that you still go and you add your name to the waiting list. I have been overwhelmed with the amount of people that have signed up for this January 2021 version. And I mean, it's obvious because everybody had so many transformations in our October 2021 that we are so excited to get started on this. So if you are part of it already, I'm so excited for you. This is going to be amazing. Buckle up, get ready for some serious growth, serious transformation, serious light bulb moments. And this is really going to help you step into your greatness into the next year. Okay, so let's get back into this. Let's talk about those 12 ways to create healthy habits, leave 2020 behind. First of all, let's talk about 2020, all right, and how we can leave it behind and learn from it. So you might still be holding on to a little bit of resentment. You might be holding on to some ideas and a story about what 2020 did for you. And I can assure you that holding on to that is not going to serve your highest self. So whatever you feel like did you wrong or wasn't fair or didn't work in 2020, if you bring that into 2021, you've only got yourself to blame for not reaching your full potential. And there are so many things that could trigger us, that could make us upset, that put us into a negative state. But what we get to do is we get to learn how to use those things to become a better version of ourselves. You know that we never grow unless we are put into a challenging situation. So 2020, the year was wild, it was crazy, but it was something that we got to experience. It was something new. Like, you know, having that experience and having that ability to grow, not everybody has got to go through that's lived on this planet. So how can we use that as a positive? And so anything that has happened to you, or you felt like it happened to you and not for you, I want you to take, you know, a couple of moments here and there over the next couple of weeks to find out why those things were bothering you, and more importantly, how you can let that go so that it doesn't affect your new year. Because we want you to be the very best version of you. And if you have negative energy or things built up on your shoulders and in your chest, it's going to prevent you from stepping forward. Let's just take in a big, deep breath. Hold it at the top. Think about those things that are triggering you from the last year, those things that may be holding you back. And as you exhale, feel them actually leaving your body. And every time over the next couple of weeks, I want you to remember that feeling, the feeling of having it tight in your chest, on your shoulders, and just take a nice big breath in. And then imagine literally exhaling it all out and allowing those things to leave your body. And when we hold on to things, it's us that's doing it. Nobody else is holding on to that thing for us. Nobody else is making us feel that certain way. It's us. It's what triggers us. And we got to find out why we get triggered by that. And is it really worth holding all of that negative energy inside of us that's stopping us get to where we get to be, where we get to create that more growth. So first of all, let's just let go. Let go of some of those things that are not serving you. Let go of those things that are triggering you. Because if you really want to step into being the very best version of you, it's about not letting things upset you and trigger you. Okay, learning that, being aware. Why is that person triggering me? Why is this post triggering me? Why am I irritated by this? Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion, okay? And look, other people are going to have different opinions to me. If you don't want to be triggered by things, don't go on social media. Don't put yourself in an environment where that's going to be for you. You know, the other day I follow people and I went on social media and, you know, I went on there for fun and for a laugh and, you know, their post became something that wasn't right for what I want to go on social media for. I use it as entertainment. And so I just unfollowed that person. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to unfollow people that are not allowing you to be your full self because you're getting triggered by what somebody else is doing. It's also important to recognize that, hey, if I'm getting so triggered by somebody having a different opinion than me, right? It's not up to you. You do not get to choose somebody else's opinion. You do not get to choose that. Their brain is wired a way that yours is not. So instead of getting frustrated that someone doesn't believe the same as you, just respect it. Appreciate it. Allow them to have their own opinion. It's not up to you to change somebody's opinion or to, you know, it's up to you to have your own opinion and to respect other people's opinions. So just let that go. Let it brush off. It's like, no problem. I don't agree with, you know, what you're saying, but that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. You're a human being. You're allowed your own opinion. Okay, so now let's get started. I have got 12 ways to create healthy habits for you. Number one. Let's talk about this. Commit to 30 days. Not decide. It doesn't say decide to do 30 days. It says commit. Commit to doing 30 days of something. Whether it's waking up at a certain time, whether it's drinking an amount of water, whether it's a certain exercise amount that you want to do each day, it's important to commit for 30 days. Now, if you have days where you fall off or you come back on again, that's okay, right? That's not the issue. The issue is just saying, hey, I'm going to do this for 30 days. And if I fall off, no problem. I'm going to keep on going until I've completed the 30 days. Even if you have 2 days where you mess up and then 1 day and then 4 days, keep on going until you complete the 30 days. No matter if you have one thing that falls off, 2 things, 5 days, come back because you're going to do more in that 30 days than you would if you just completely quit. So I don't even care if you disappear somewhere and you don't do a workout, you don't wake up in time for a week. Come back when that 30 days is up. That's when you can make a decision to say, hey, I want to keep doing this or I don't. And you try again for another 30 days. And maybe that next 30 days, you only, have a few days where you don't completely execute everything that you wanted to do that day, right? Or you don't stick to that habit. So just say, I'm going to do it for 30 days. And honestly, that's how I went pescatarian. I was like, let me see if I can not eat meat for 30 days. Because if I said to myself, well, I'm just going to never do it again, I didn't know if I wanted to commit to that. I wanted to see if it was going to be easy. I wanted to see if I was going to be able to attain it. And so I did it for 30 days. And then 30 days became 31, 32, 33. And now it's been 18 months that I haven't eaten any meat. So it's saying like, I'm going to try this for 30 days. Getting in your mindset of that, because if we go, right, I'm going to just do this forever, it doesn't work because it's too big. But then you create the habit. This is what it's all about, is how to create the habit, right? It's not doing something forever. What's going to happen is once you've created the habit, that is what's going to help you do it forever. Okay, number 2, make it daily. Make the thing that you need to do daily. So, it's not a weekly thing, it's a daily, because that's how you create the habit. Repetition is the mother of all skills. So whether it's I'm going to go for a walk, I want to lose 10 pounds. So what do I need to do daily to make that happen? And these daily wins, what can you do to get a win within a couple of hours of waking up? So once you've woken up, 2 hours, what's your win for the day? Maybe you've gone for a walk, maybe you've done your workout, maybe you've had a healthy breakfast, maybe you have done some meditation. What is your win for the day? Make it daily. A 90-day plan is something that you do every single day for 90 days. And you will see the results of day 1 on day 91. So the work that you do on day 1, you will see the results on day 91. So you have to do a full 90-day plan to then be able to see the results. And so many people, they get started on something and they go, well, I don't see the results yet. No, that's why we call it a 90-day plan. But if you think about it, it's just 3 commitments of 30-day plans. That's just broken down even more. So think about what you can do daily to help you get to where you want to be, and those habits are going to be created. It's just something that becomes inside of your body. It's just something that you do. You know, people say, how do you stay motivated? I just am motivated now. How do I keep showing up even when I don't want to? I've literally programmed my body into just doing it, just doing what I need to do to just doing what I need to do. It's like, you know, I've had an interesting couple of weeks. My life has changed a little bit, and I have still not showed up for something. You will see across my social media, across everything, I've still showed up. But that has taken years of me being committed to making my habits actually stick in place by doing the things daily. Even if it's like there's like these little decisions that you can make in the day. Do I show up for the workout or do I not? Do I show up for the team training or do I not? Do I show up for this thing or do I not? Do I show up and do my journaling or do I not? All of those decisions program your body to, are you going to keep going or are you not? And all I've done is over the years of keep showing up even when I haven't wanted to. It's programmed my body to just show up. It just naturally does it. It's a natural thing. You know, I need to film a podcast. Boom, I've never missed a podcast. We're not missing lives. Like everything just becomes programmed, but you have to do things daily. Number 3, start simple, super simple. Not like I am going to drink, 4 gallons of water a day, all right? If you're not very good at drinking water, put my hand up, that is definitely me. Just start off small. Start off with something small that you can do, something super simple. Not like I'm gonna go run 5 miles a day. Go run a mile, right? So jot these things down. What are the simple things that you can do just to get started? Because when we feel like it's such a big goal, we get overwhelmed, right? And I'm not really a massive fan of that word, but I understand it. It's like we get overwhelmed. It's too much. I'm never going to be able to do 5 miles. I can't even do 1. Great. Do half a mile. That is the way to start. So start super simple. Remember, we all love fun, simple, and magical. Okay. Number 4. Got to write these numbers down, otherwise I'm just going to get a random list here. All right. Number 4, get a buddy. All right. The amount of masterminds that I've joined to hold me accountable and to keep my growth going, whether it's a course, even if you just start the Inner Transformation Program or you start on the BTES app, you find a buddy. Not necessarily like one particular person, but you find a community of people just showing up. You might not even know that buddy. You might not even realize that that person is your buddy. But when you go on the lives and you say who's there and you see all the names and you see who is joining, you start to go, oh my goodness, I know this person. I remember this person's name. And all of these things start to click into place. And you might not even directly know this person, but they become your buddy just because you're like, well, I'm going to show up because I know so-and-so is going to show up. I know this person's going to show up. And I want to show up as well because I'm part of this community. So find a little buddy. Okay, I love this one. Number 5, replace your lost needs. This is so true when you want to find a new community or a new friend group. So, 6, 7 years ago when I was in, toxic relationship, toxic marriage, lots of going out partying with that group of friends, it was so hard to move away from them because I didn't have anybody else. How could I just move away? So what I did was I found a new community, and it was like a progression. It was like I just started to fade away, so I was fading into something new, right? So fade, use the fade example, because if you're like, hey, I keep on eating this types of food, or I keep on associating myself with these types of people, or I keep hanging around with these types of people, find new people, find other foods to replace. So don't think about just taking away, it's replacing those lost needs, right? So what is it right now that you would like to replace? Write down a whole list of things that you would like to maybe just move away from, some habits, some things that you're doing that you want to move away from, and then replace it. Write a list next to it of things that you could do, right, that would replace that lost need. And then every time that you go and do that bad habit, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to replace it with this new thing that I've written down on my list, okay? Number 6, be imperfect. All right, you know what? We all got to start messy. You know the drill. Starting messy is better than not starting at all. And by the way, everybody starts messy. Being ready for something is a complete lie. I'm ready for this. I'm not ready for this. Like, you just have to do it. And every time you go, well, I'm going to start in the new year. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start here. Start now. Now is the time to start. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you mess up, you don't stick to your goal, it doesn't matter. You learn from it and you come back and you realize how much you actually want to do it. So being imperfect, not thinking that everything has to be super aligned and ready to go for us to be able to actually create the life that we want. It doesn't have to be that way. I mean, you look at some of my very original YouTube videos. I'm in the worst workout outfit. I'm on a beach. You can't even hear me. I'm on a $150 Sony camera and I'm just making it work. And so everything doesn't have to be perfect at the beginning. What the most important thing is you get started, because as you start, you can improve. You can't improve something that isn't even there. Think about that. You can't improve something that is not even there. And what's important to know is that, our new January calendar, it's epic. It looks amazing. The graphics are cool, but it's taken me years and years of just creating more PDFs and making it look prettier and prettier and prettier and prettier, right? But the first one, if you look at it, it's not that cute. It's really not. In fact, it probably looks awful if I look back. But all I did was I kept on doing it so that I can improve. So you can't improve on something if you don't have anything in the first place to even improve on. It's like if you're running a business. If you haven't got anybody that you've reached out to or that you've got started, on whatever it is, or you haven't sold them a product, how do you even know how to improve on it? So ready is a lie. You don't need to be perfect. Okay. Removing the temptation. Number 7, removing temptation. It's like if chocolate is in my fridge, I'm going to eat it. If it's Cadbury's chocolate, it's going to last a couple of days. I just don't go and buy those things so that the temptation is not there. If you are tempted by alcohol, don't bring it into your house. If you are tempted when you go on a night out to drink more, don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be exposed to things. If you are getting triggered by somebody on social media, right? Remove those temptations. Maybe you have a bad habit of scrolling and checking on somebody that, is triggering you, that's irritating you, or you're just kind of, annoyed by for whatever reason. Take them off your social media. Remove that temptation to go and look at their profile page, right? Remove it. You have to be strong, whether it's a partner that you've been with and it's an ex and you've still got their number on your phone. Delete it, right? There's no need for it. There's that still temptation to go and message them, right? Take away the temptation, because what it's going to do, it's going to free up so much more of your time. Think about how much you are getting sucked into sometimes by actually just having things that are holding you back because you are spending time and energy on those things that are negative, right? So removing those temptations. And on the flip side, number 8 is associate with role models. Yes, remember, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. So if you're surrounding yourself with positive people who are, ready to go and they've got your best interests at heart and they're your cheerleader and you're just like, yes, I'm owning this, I'm amazing, I've got this. Well, that's an incredible way for you to become your best version, because we all need a coach. Think about this. NFL players have coaches, successful businessmen have coaches, Tony Robbins has coaches. We all need a coach. So associate yourself with those role models, right? Because their habits are going to rub off on you. If you want to stay on track, you need to surround yourself with the people who are actually doing the do. Because if you're with a group of friends and they're not sticking to things, what the chances of you sticking to it is going to be very, very small. So what you want to do is associate yourself with role models so that you are getting the energy from them is getting rubbed off on you. Because when everybody is up on the same page, everybody wants to create great impact. They want to have everlasting change. They want to be the best version of themselves. They're ready for growth. They're ready for change. You are going to be one of those people who is then rubbing off, within the community to help everybody else level up at the same time. Okay, number 9. Let's talk about the benefits. think about all of the benefits that you will gain from sticking to these healthy habits and creating them. Just close your eyes for a second and just think about if you're doing all the things that you want to do daily. You're waking up on time, you're not resetting the alarm clock, you're having your cold shower, you're having your breakfast. Like, think of all the benefits and the things that you are going to gain. The things that you are going to gain just by showing up and committing to the 30 days, going back to the top part. Here, when we're talking about, going through those things, committing, the daily actions, it's going to feel so, so good. It's going to feel absolutely amazing. So know all the benefits. Know the things that are going to make you feel great. Coming back to your why. Why is it going to make you feel so great when you do these habits? Why are you doing the habits, right? All of the benefits that are going to be created. Write them all down. It's going to keep you motivated to hold those habits and keep them nice and close to you. Remember, keeping that vision super close to your face. So know all of the benefits of these habits that you are creating. And then on the other side of that, number 10, know the pain. What's the pain going to be? If you keep on going the same way that you are going right now and you're not changing these habits to being healthy ones, you're going to be doing the same thing this time next year. Remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So what is the pain that's going to come from it? Remember, it's the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. I will take the pain of discipline any time. I don't want to regret something in my life. We're only here for one time. We've got this one shot. We do not know when, if even tomorrow is here. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be here. So think of the pain that will come from you not making the moves and creating those habits that you need to do to have the life that you deserve and that you desire. And you deserve it as long as you work hard for it. And you put yourself in situations where you're there to grow and you're there to make impact. All right? So know the pain of what's going to come from it. All right, our last two. Number 11, form a trigger. So when you go to do your bad habit, you need to think of a word or an action that's going to break the pattern of you doing it. So remember, my mentor used to be like, shh, shh. I used to do that to myself, like when you tell a dog off, right? You're like, shh, shh. So I would do that to get myself into a better state, to change my state to a peak state. So if I felt myself coming on where I was getting emotional, anxious, anxiety, I felt like I was having a meltdown, it'd be like, shh, okay, bring myself back. What are the habits that you're doing right now that you would like to stop? And then think of a trigger. Form a trigger, a word, an action, a movement, a song that you need to put on to change your mindset. Because all you do is you're rewiring your brain. And over time, you won't need to say that word. You won't need to do an action. You won't need to put on the song because it would just be something that you have created inside of you. But at the beginning, you 100% need a trigger. You 100% need a form of trigger to stop you doing that bad habit. So think about it. What is it that is going to work for you? I can't create that for you. It could be a word, it could be some sort of like, maybe you do a lunge or maybe you do a star jump or whatever it is, right? You've got to think of something and it's got to be embedded into your body. And over time, you're not going to need to actually do that action because it's just going to be something that is built up inside of you. Okay, all right, and then the last thing, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Number 12, if there is nothing that you don't do it for, just do it for yourself because you are the most important person in this world. You are the relationship that you have with yourself. Do it for you. Don't do it for your partner. Don't do it for your kids. Do it for you. You are worth it. You are worth it for showing up and keep on going to make sure that you have the very best life. And that is to end today's podcast. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I'm excited for 2021. We've got so many things happening for you. Just stay. What have you got to stay close to? We've got to stay close to the fire. Stay close to the fire, show up, do it for yourself, use these 12 healthy habits, let go of 2020 and embrace this new 365 days because I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. 2020 was the year of growth and 2021 is the year that we put it into action. I love you guys and I'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye-bye.